The right choice is the one that you make. Y'all ever heard that quote before? That's a good one, and we'll get into it in a second. But I wanted to start off by saying hopefully the audio is not too bad. I'm in my car. No face cam, dabbling with something new. So hopefully, my car just auto-locked the doors. Hopefully there's a nice little, I was thinking about maybe doing like a little animation, bouncing off the screen, old DVD style, or potentially having some Pokemon Leaf Green content. We'll get into more gaming in a second, but this video is going to mostly be about, topics I've been interested in. One of those recent videos that I made like that. I think I made one like 2 weeks ago, so we'll recap some of those. Try to find some connections. Honestly, I was looking over the list of stuff that I've been taking in over the last week or two. Sorry, there's a lot going on when you're outside and in your car, and compared to when you're in your room. I already lost. Finding connection seems like it'll be harder this time around, but that's towards the end of the video. We'll start off by talking about this quote that I learned today. The right choice is the one that you make. And that one resonated with me. It's a statement I heard from a guy on YouTube, Jesse Nyberg. Pretty sure that's his name. Or Permanent Glue. But I heard it on his podcast videos that he has called Glue FM. Check him out. Great guy. He does a lot of graphic design content on his main channel, but his Ask FM, Glue FM account is kind of honestly similar to what I'm trying to do here, where it's like a bunch of different interests that I want to talk about, but also, mine's more of like finding those connections and trying to teach y'all how to also find those connections. So it's kind of close to what he does. Check him out if you're interested in, but he made a video talking about, I think, overthinking. And he said a quote at one point that was, "The right choice is the one that you make." This statement really speaks to me because it's like, I'm a high level overthinker, catastrophizer, self-doubter. And although I currently may feel a little bit, lost in the realm of life, I feel like a statement like this can help ground me back to reality. I want to, clarify by saying, first of all, I am blessed for how easy, quote unquote easy, comfortable my life has been compared to like 90% of the humans that have ever walked the earth. Middle class white American in the 2000s with a loving family and good friends. It's a smoothly paved road. And secondly, I'm not in a bad position today either. I have a job, I am married, and I still have a loving family and great friends. But, purpose-wise, I feel like I've just been a little lost these days. We've talked about this in the last 2 videos. I feel like I at least mentioned it of sorts. And that's kind of like the whole purpose of the channel is to, find those interests to help guide me to that North Star, so to speak. Definitely more career-related. Because, I want to spend my time doing something that I feel purpose for, or makes me feel, alive in this world, since most of my days spent doing this. So I want to make it count. And a quote like this really helps me, because a lot of the time when I'm doing something I'm not really enjoying, or thinking about things that could have happened, thinking about my like self-doubt, whether that's in the field of design, talking about design on here, talking about any topic on here in general, there's always that feeling of self-doubt. And I feel like sometimes I'm not qualified to talk on anything. This feeling of self-doubt, it can really make me think like what could have been with like, maybe a different career path or choices that I've made in my life. But with this quote of, the right choice is the one that you make, It really helps you, you know. I love my life now, no matter how irritating, slightly stressful, confusing, difficult, but I have a beautiful and great life, of course, so I should be grateful with that. And this phrase, I feel like, has been really, really impacted me today on grounding me to it. So all those wrong choices that I think I made, or bad choices that I think I made, you know, as long as they didn't, you know, hurt people, they're learning experiences. I mean, I guess even the ones, if you did hurt somebody, that technically is a learning experience too. So, so if you're feeling a similar way, sit down with this phrase, really think about how your life choices, how every life choice that you made brought you to this point. And if you're still breathing and alive on this earth, you can create the life that you want with these choices that you make, because every right choice is the one that you make. So, things I've been interested in over the last 2 weeks. Let's get into it. First of all, the poetry video. It'll come someday. It'll come at some point. I think my issue I'm having with it is I'm really lately, especially, I feel like my, you know, niche interests that I've been having, they're very short-lived. So, like, you know, I actually have been enjoying writing a little bit of poetry recently over the last couple of days, but the moment after I, you know, made that claim that I was going to make the poetry video, the poetry interest lost me a little bit. I did kind of write a script for it, as I mentioned previously, but sitting down, really doing a little more research for it, I haven't been reading, so it's been rough. I just need to kind of buckle down with it, but it'll come one day, I hope. I still love poetry, kind of back into it, but another thing in a similar vein that I've been interested in is Substack writing. So just, you know, kind of writing my thoughts on there. I haven't done it, but I've been reading a lot on Substack. I guess, you know, I haven't really considered Substack as reading. We'll get into... Okay, here's another diversion from that. I have a new journal set up where I'm kind of like ticking boxes on things that I like complete, like a tracker, daily tracker kind of thing. Real simple. I just write a favorite moment of the day, and then like what I did. I think on there I have meditate, write, read, exercise, and maybe stretch. There might be another one as well. And, you know, I've been reading a lot of Substack, but I guess I haven't been putting that as reading technically. So the reading boxes have been pretty empty, but I guess if you consider Substack reading, then I guess it would count. But I've been kind of interested in writing some Substack articles, just for fun, not really with a purpose of maybe, you know, maybe that's where the deeper dives of like things I'm interested in could start. And then like I could make a video based on the article. That honestly sounds like a more, you know, a way to really get me to do this poetry video is to, you know, maybe write an article about, you know, the script could go into the article. Anyway, now I'm just brainstorming. So that's one thing. Substack I've really been enjoying. I deleted Instagram and all that. I don't have TikTok. So honestly, right now, my only quote-unquote social medias, quote-unquote, is YouTube and Substack. So feeling intellectual. But yeah. One other thing I've been interested in lately. Salamanders mainly, but just reptiles and amphibians in general. Honestly, I guess more amphibians than reptiles these days. It all started from a video from, what's his name? Aiden Robbins. I should check. Aiden Robbins. Okay, I was right. He's been doing videos about Japan, and I've been to Japan once in my life. It was amazing. And I'm just interested in all of his videos in general. I linked him in the last video. I'll probably link him again with the salamander video. It was just such, like, I think the video before that was like a volcano video, and then turned into a salamander video, the next one. And I don't know, I really like salamanders, and which I could get into a whole thing about salamanders. There was one in like my local forest that we were hunting for in field biology class one time, and I found it like pretty much immediately when we went outside, so I got a connection to him that way. Watching a little bit of Naruto recently, so you know Hanzo of the salamander. That salamander's pretty cool. I don't know, I feel like salamanders have just been popping up a lot lately. I used to really be interested in like geckos. I never got one, but a couple of my friends got a leopard gecko, one got a crested gecko. No way in heck, you know, I'm kind of glad I didn't get one, I guess, because moved around a bunch, but real jealous of that, of their geckos back in the day. So yeah, salamanders. I have a potential, maybe there's a salamander animated on the screen right now. That was kind of my idea, was like a salamander going from corner to corner. Might still do that. If not, you might be looking at leaf green content, unless I thought of something else. But yeah, love lizards, love salamanders, love reptiles, frogs included. Two other things. The Irish War for Independence. Listened to a podcast on that this week, from The Rest is History. I like to listen to them every now and then when I'm trying to learn some new broad topic of history. They compact it real nicely. But when I want to do a deep dive, per se, like another one that I have on Okinawa and World War II, like U.S. versus Japan, Okinawa. Sometimes I get into niche military battles. These guys I like to listen to on a podcast is the Unauthorized Pacific War. Unauthorized History of the Pacific War, maybe. It's something like that. They go deep. I think it's like kind of three historians, military related. They go deep and get serious, crack a couple jokes. They're really good videos. Some of them are like, I watched the Iwo Jima ones a while back. I think it was literally like 4-hour long podcasts. I drink those things up. So good to learn. I feel like it's very important for me to learn about these kinds of things like history and such. Don't know the connection between the Irish War for Independence and Okinawa, honestly. When I'm learning history, I feel like there's not a bigger thing. It's more of like just what I'm interested in at the time. So gaming is another thing I've been thinking about lately and trying to love it again. In the beginning of the year, I created goals for myself of I wanted to complete 3 games this year, because it's kind of been a while since I have fully played through an entire game. It all kind of started when I got Tears of the Kingdom literally back in 2023, and I watched a video about this the other day too, and this guy really, if I can dig up that video, I'll link it below, but he was really speaking to me, where it's like for Tears of the Kingdom, I was so excited. I was literally listening to the trailer music. It was so good, giving me chills. The saxophone was going nuts. I was so excited. I mean, it took me a long time to beat Breath of the Wild, but I've probably put in a good 50 hours maybe on Tears of the Kingdom, and it's just like, I still haven't beat it. I don't even know if I'm halfway done with it. But that's not the only game. It's like I also bought Pokemon Legends ZA in the fall, or maybe it was whenever it came out. It was a little after it came out. Honestly, it might have been when it came out. And guess what? I maybe played that game for like 2-3 hours. I mean, it wasn't exactly, I mean, similar vein where I was like excited about the trailers, but I don't know, it never got me as excited once I started playing it. But it's tough. I also started a little bit of Skyrim back in the day, like a year or two ago. Got excited for that. Didn't finish. I mean, Skyrim's a whole different thing, but Dark Souls, never beat Elden Ring. Hollow Knight I bought last year, and I've been playing that a good amount, but haven't beat it. Honestly, I think I still have a long way to go with that one too. I bought this fishing game. I got a big Nintendo gift card, or Switch gift card, eShop gift card for Christmas. So I've been buying a bunch of cheap games, but that was one of them. Leaf Green. I mean, if you're watching the animation right now, or Leaf Green content, if you're watching the Leaf Green content, maybe I made some progress on it, but I made it like 2 gyms in. Same with a playthrough of Pokemon White I was doing. I mean, I could keep talking about it over and over again, but I feel like I just get excited thinking about games. And, you know, I grew up gaming, like way back when's, you know. I've definitely had an addiction, middle school to high school era. I don't know if I gamed out or if it's more, I think it's more of I just can't chill out and relax enough. You know, the curse of me always trying to figure out my interests in learning new things. I always feel like I could be something better. Could be doing something better with my time. And I don't know. I love gaming, and I know it can, you know, teach you a lot of things. You can enjoy the story. You can, you know, hand-eye coordination, I guess. You can be creative, like on Minecraft and stuff, which, you know, I always have the 2-week Minecraft phase. But last time I did it, I literally started up the world, and I didn't even do anything. I think I maybe, like, made a chest, put a bunch of stuff in, maybe went mining, and then I was, like, done. So I need to try out some strategies for that. Maybe, like, do a little gaming in the morning or something. Just something where it's like I do a little bit, but I want to still keep playing, and I don't just, like, stop. I don't know. Maybe I just put too much pressure on it, but my goal is to get 3 games finished this year. And in the same vein, one of my other interests is just, like, learning how to be content. I guess this is, like, the same vein. Being content and relaxing without stressing about things that I, quote-unquote, need to do. So, like, yesterday, or the day before, maybe, I took a nice nap on the floor and, like, forced myself. I didn't mean to nap, but I forcefully made myself lay on the floor under my ceiling fan. It was hot. We didn't have the air on. It's getting hot these days. Summer's starting. But I was just chilling, looking at the fan. Wrote a little poem about it on Substack. Check it out. But yeah. So I'm working on trying to lower them cortisol levels throughout the day. Really learn how to relax. We've been drinking some decaf coffee at nighttime. That's honestly been a nice thing. It's like because I love the tranquility of my morning coffee experience, so adding that into the evening I think has really been helping. And it just feels so wrong to drink decaf coffee. Like, feels like I'm doing something bad, doing something naughty, but no caffeine, or at least not as much. So, and I've been sleeping good, so it hasn't really affected me that way. So I think I'll be okay. But thinking about the connections for these, you know, this video was pretty out of the blue. Like, you know, as I said, I'm in my car. You can probably tell from the trash audio, as I mentioned. There's USB-C cables for my mic. The Amazon, like, never let me return them. I don't know, so you're just hearing through my mic right now. But this was pretty out of the blue. I wrote all this stuff up of kind of what I've been thinking about. The Zib Aldone journaling. I wrote a couple quotes down and stuff, but honestly, I did a bad job from the last video of trying to improve on that. So I'm going to continue that. I've been doing some daily sketching in it though, so that was good. But anyway, I don't think I have anything else to add. Let me know if you like these two videos, or let me know if you like the style of video I just did with this one. I know the last one, it's like mainly focused on the interests. This one, it's almost like two different topics of like, here's a quote that I found that I liked. Let's deep dive on that for a second. Boom, here's my other interests. But I didn't realize the interest part was going to be so long of me talking. So I don't know. Let me know. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. It's a Friday right now. And yeah, much love. Spread the kindness. Hope you find your way. Have a great one.